Hey, Christian here, host of the 21st Century Man podcast and the founder of Second Life Coaching with yet another awesome episode in the Estranged series. And today, I kind of want to talk to you about something that's been running through my brain since watching the incredibly emotional This Is Us this week. And that is the one word at the end of the episode, Jack's monologue, I guess you could say, while he's buying the Wagoneer for the family, is that you, okay is kind of the word for us parents. We want our families to be okay. We want our kids to be okay. And I know, from talking to a lot of you who've seen these videos, that you're not really okay. It's strained, it's painful, it's emotional, it's hard, it's just devastating. Whatever horrible adjective you can put on it to cover the emotional trauma that you're currently experiencing or have experienced recently or in the past regarding your situation. But I want you to think about something, okay? Jack's monologue was great, and I don't think I've ever cried as hard as at a TV show as I did watching that. These brand new Bluetooth headphones are goofy as hell, so that's the thing hanging back here. And it made a lot of sense to me. All we want is for our kids to be okay. So you may be struggling, and again, happy Sangria Friday. You may be having a rough time. You may not be talking. There may be a lot of anger being flung back and forth between you and your kids and other members of your family or friends or what have you. But I want you to stop and think about something. I want you to honestly put aside the personal hurt and the pain and everything else and ask yourself, are they okay? Do they have, are they gainfully employed, I guess for one thing? Do they have a roof over their heads, have, somewhat of a normal life with a lot of the things that you strived. English is definitely not my first thing today. To teach them while you're raising them. The morals, the ethics, the beliefs, just all the little nuggets of wisdom that we as parents strive to put to give our children so that when they grow up to be adults, they can function in, in society and be good and decent people. And I know in my case, um, there's a lot going on, and I've talked a bit about it on these videos. But I do know that both of my girls are okay. They have good jobs. They're rooming with each other. They're roommates, and that's kind of the one thing we always told them growing up is like, one of these days you guys are all going to be, you're going to have lean on each other even though you hate each other now. And they got good heads on their shoulders. They're well adjusted, and they're functional, members of society. And that is probably the one thing that throughout all of this, the difficulty, the emotion, the what have you, is that they were okay. They turned out all right, and there's a lot to be said about that. I'm going to step outside, actually. Let me go set the timer on the stove because I'm making dinner and I'm home alone for a few moments, for a few bit, while people are out. But that's the one thing, is that, they turned out all right. I know this is really exciting stuff, but it's the benefit of video. They turned out okay. They turned out great. They're really good kids, and they've got, they're well adjusted and they're smart, and they're functioning members of society. And I hate this door; it sticks all the time. And so that is the one thing, one of the things that kind of kept me going is knowing that some of the things that I had taught them, some of the things I endeavored to let them know and instill in them growing up stuck. So I want you to think, and when you're in that moment of pain, when you're in that moment of despair, when you're in that moment of, why me and I don't think I can make this, ask yourself, did they, aside from the current relationship challenges, did they turn out okay? Because I'll tell you what, they did. You had quite a bit to do with that. You did a good job. And sometimes things don't turn out the way we hoped they would or thought they would. But, realize you did the best job you could as parents, and some of the things you have taught them is stuck. And in the end, it's our job as parents to let them go and let them fly on their own. So if they're okay, things will be okay. It does get better. You can take comfort and take some pride in knowing that they turned out good, and you had quite a bit to do with that. So that's it for today. It is a beautiful Florida February afternoon. It's like 80 degrees and gorgeous. So I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to have a lot to talk about coming up soon. There's some big stuff going on this weekend, but it's a secret right now, and we'll talk about it later when things have passed and see how they go. So again, if you love this, subscribe to the channel, check out the other videos, check out the 21st Century Man podcast on the iTunes or Stitcher or even Google Play Music, and swing by the website secondlifecoaching.com, and I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me an email, send me a comment, because I love you guys, and take heart. All right, bye.